Hi everyone, welcome back to the Dr. Sia channel. In this video, we're going to be talking about shame versus guilt. So many people get them confused that I don't even think they're any way similar to each other. But hey, people get them confused. So hopefully after this video, once you watch it, you'll never have to think about the two as the same thing or even similar things again. Just as much as you wouldn't talk about a guitar being similar to a spoon, hopefully you won't think about anyway, actually, a guitar is almost similar to a spoon in some ways. They're sort of shaped the same way. Anyway, right, shame versus guilt. Let's get started. Alright, so if you haven't seen my other videos on shame and guilt, please make sure that you check them out because that's where I go in depth on shame and I also go in depth on guilt. But here we're going to be talking about shame versus guilt. So what is shame? Shame from an ISTDP perspective, from an ISTDP theory perspective, is essentially a one-person process of when you've hurt somebody or done something that you think is wrong based on what you've learned in your childhood, is the process of what you do to you. Shame is the process of what you do to yourself now based on what's been done to you. So it's a one-on-one thing. When you're shaming, it has nothing to do with the person in front of you, and it has everything to do with the people inside your mind, with your caretakers, with your teachers, with society, with politics, with media. Everyone in your mind starts talking to you, and what you're doing there is in your mind. That is shame. What you do and how nice that looks or how terrible that looks is shame. A person who's shaming often has a lot of tears coming down their face. They look really distressed because of what happens in their mind. They're not connecting back to anyone else. Now, the person who has guilt, if we just look at what guilt is a feeling you have within you when you've hurt somebody else. And it's an extremely emotional process. It's an emotionally painful process that comes up within you, starts somewhere below your lower gut, comes up, heaves up, cramps almost everything up like that, really makes you feel disgusting inside, heaves out, tears come down, and it's a really nasty feeling. But it's not necessarily very nasty in your mind. So what this nasty feeling of guilt is meant to do is to help you not hurt anybody else again, or help you resolve future potential hurts. Guilt is a two-person process. When you're guilting, what happens in your mind is you're seeing the person who you've hurt. You're thinking about ways that you can prevent that hurt again. You're trying to find solutions to never hurting them that way again. You're finding solutions to heal them, to soothe them, to be there for them in ways that you've never been able to be before. So whereas shame is a one-person process, a one-person in here beating up yourself, you and your ghosts, beating you up, hurting you, and all you can think about is how bad you are, how terrible you are, how wrong you've done things, how nasty you are, how harmful you are, how disgusting you are, how unworthy you are. In guilt is an upheaving process when you look around you for the person that you've hurt and you're crying and you're hurting and you just want to hold that person and you want to tell them how you never want to do that to them again, and you want to tell them that you love them and you never meant to hurt them to begin with, and there's a soothing and repairing process going on between the two of you. Now, if you thought then that guilt is what you've experienced, that you say, you might go to therapy and say, I have a lot of guilt. Well, think about if this is what you're experiencing when you say guilt, that you have this massive hurt that you've caused, and you now reach out to the person in front of you because of the pain that you caused, and you're repairing that hurt. Or whether what you're actually talking about is shame, that you just sit there and you beat yourself up, and you tend to do that in almost any situation. So you can see how different these two things are. There's very little that connects them other than the one thing, that is that you may or may not have done something hurtful. That is the one thing that connects these two concepts of shame versus guilt. So they really shouldn't even be confused. And I hope that if you watch this video now, that you have an aha moment, that you go, oh, I never experienced guilt, that was shame. Or I never experienced shame, that was guilt, and it's good. So I hope that it really helps you in that way to really clarify the different processes. If you didn't really catch it, if you didn't really get it, watch the video again, because there's the key there. The key is, are you in your mind doing stuff to you, hurting yourself, telling yourself how bad you are? Or are you looking at the person that you've hurt and you're reaching out to them, and you're hurting and you're reaching out to them? That should be a huge and massive difference there for you. That should be a massive difference there. As much as a guitar and a spoon. And like I said, it probably wasn't a good example, because in my mind I just think, well, a spoon is almost like a guitar. Borrow a couple of strings and, can you make a guitar from spoons? That's probably how a guitar came to be. Oh my gosh, I'm having all these I'm having all these amazing ideas. That's probably how the first guitar... Someone just took a spoon and went, I wonder if I can put some... Am I right? Is that how I don't know. Anyway, I'm spiraling. Watch my next video. It's going to be on what is ISTDP in more depth. So I'll see you there.